Hey, GB4576 here, and today I have something very special. The return of Death Battle to the channel. Ignore that, that's an advertisement. This video is not sponsored by them, but their video is, definitely. So, Omni-Man versus Bardock. Man, this Kickstarter, I've actually donated to it personally, and yeah, seeing that thing blow up was just amazing. But we have Omni-Man versus Bardock, Invincible versus Dragon Ball Z. Now, I saw a lot of discussion about this online, and initially everyone was thinking, oh yeah, Omni-Man, he's got this. But more people kept bringing up information like Bardock is technically stronger than Omni-Man. But we shall see, shall we? 3, 2, 1, go!
This battle is sponsored by Manscaped.
That's cool. Fight!
Omni-Man versus Bardock.
The ostracized Viltrumite and the doomed Saiyan.
He's whiz
It's
and I'm boosted.
And it's our job to analyze
we
their
got some
weapons,
previews
armor,
of
and
it.
skills to find out who would win a death battle. Omni-Man,
Yep.
Earth's once greatest hero. Alongside the Guardians of the Globe, he protected the world from all
and I
manner of
missed
threats. And then, in a single day, it all went horribly wrong.
I wouldn't say it went horribly
How
wrong, he
Omni-Man?
just showed his true
Who,
nature.
Omni-Man?
Who indeed? Champion of Earth, best-selling author J.K. Simmons, yet it was all a charade. With
I mean,
his
the
murderous
J.K.
rampage
Simmons
only
wasn't a
brought to halt
charade.
thanks to his own son.
It all starts with his home planet, Viltrum, which I hear is a totally
That's
lovely
nice music
utopia.
playing in the
Through
background.
brutal mortal combat.
Yep.
With a K! Or, wait, no,
I have
that
not
came later.
watched
Viltrumites are
Invincible,
among the
but I've
most
seen
powerful
Omni-Man
beings
versus
in the
Homelander,
universe.
so
Even more so after
already
they
know
purged
about
the weaker
these.
members of their species. As a
Mark
vanguard
Debbie
of the
writing and
Viltrumite
bugs.
Empire, Omni-Man infiltrated Earth as Nolan Grayson, expected to prepare the planet for Imperial
Now,
assimilation.
Which
Okay.
should have been easy, since he's got your classic strongman superpowers,
Yeah,
and he's
evil
basically
Superman.
invulnerable, easily knocking around asteroids the size of Texas.
He can fly at unbelievable speeds, soaring from Earth to the planet Thraxa in under 1 week.
Yeah.
Thraxa is, quote, a couple galaxies away, give or take.
give or take.
So a minimum of 2 galaxies. Beyond the Milky Way's neighbor Andromeda is the lesser-known Triangulum Galaxy,
Yeah,
which
this
is
was
over
all done in the
2.7
preview.
million
I've seen
light
this
years away.
before.
Reaching it in under 1 week means Omni-Man must have flown over 142 million times faster than light.
Oh, and Viltrumites can't breathe in space, so he held his breath the
Superhuman
whole way.
physique,
And
smart
it's not like he
atoms,
was in a rush.
human
He was on a
longevity,
soul-searching
flight,
trip,
accelerated
contemplating
healing,
the
and
significance
cold
of
resistance.
smashing his own son's face in. Think, Nolan, think.
Yeah, this is why I'm never having kids.
You're missing out. But according to another Viltrumite, Thetis, a bunch of other Viltrumites who actually were in a hurry flew to Viltrum across the Virgo supercluster in less than 24 hours.
That's over 20 billion
Yeah,
times
20
faster
billion.
You
Yeah.
don't really need to rush
Speed
anyway.
2, electric
The older a
boogaloo.
Viltrumite gets, the slower they age.
According to the Invincible
realized
Handbook,
that.
Nolan is over 2,000 years
Yeah,
old.
he definitely has
and
the
regardless of age,
experience
Viltrumites
advantage.
don't suffer muscle fatigue like humans do, so they rarely ever tire out.
Seriously? He's got parenting easy mode on, and he couldn't even handle that. I would have killed
I mean,
for
that's
that back
more
when my
because of his
daughter was
body,
born.
not
Well,
necessarily
you would
because of
have
his
to be a Viltrumite
personality.
first. A Viltrumite's body contains smart atoms, which they subconsciously manipulate. This cellular structure can effectively recall certain states of being regardless of their present environment, reacting to changes at an atomic level to
Smart
perform
atoms
the
resist attacks
impossible.
from
Yeah, like
Adam
surviving
Eve.
your
There's
intestines
ultimate at
getting
an
ripped
atomic
out,
level.
or even more scary, ripping out your whole beard all at once.
Well, I'm not a Viltrumite,
Only
so...
a
oh, well.
Viltrumite could pull off something that disturbing.
Nolan is incredibly tough, but if he faces superior forces, his smart atoms can adjust to make him even stronger by comparison. This is why Viltrumites are considered
Invincible!
Most weapons in the universe
Okay, here's
can't
new
even
stuff.
scratch a Viltrumite like him.
Even a ship's cannon like this one can't take down a Viltrumite, and it obliterated a massive solar disk nearly half the size of a star.
Speaking of planets, he's strong enough to shatter one by flying straight through
Well,
it. A
3 of
planet so
them.
big it has a whole ring around it.
The Roche limit factor dictates the size a celestial body must be in order to disperse orbiting material as a ring. In short, an Earth-sized planet can't support such a ring, meaning this one must be much larger.
And don't get me started on how the ring is actually made up of dead bodies because, spoilers, just go read the comic.
If Roche isn't doing it for you, this planet also supports 5 moons in its orbit, and even the smallest is a perfect sphere, meaning its own gravity shaped it. At minimum, a moon like that must have a diameter of 600 kilometers, or 370 miles. Comparing this to the planet's diameter, we can tell this world is nearly 14 times larger than Earth.
Or it was before, you know, kablam.
Now, Omni-Man does have his weaknesses. Monsters like Ragnar's can pierce Viltrumite flesh, and he's extremely sensitive to a specific high-pitch frequency, which can destabilize his body's equilibrium.
But his real weakness turned out to be, you guessed it, fatherhood. Thanks to his son Mark, Nolan began to re-examine his perspective and his place in the universe. He settled down in a new place, got himself a new job, and even had a new kid with his new wife, who's a bug. The bug lady, he banged a bug.
Why, Omni-Man? How, Omni-Man?
Hey, everyone deals with parenting stress in their own way. When Nolan was lecturing to Mark about how insignificant people are, Mark wasn't the only one he was trying to convince, if you catch my drift.
Nolan Grayson's real mission isn't planetary conquest or saving the innocent. It's to discover if a violent man who can break the world can also be a good father.
Godspeed, Omni-Man.
Boom. Now let's learn about
In the
Bardock.
far
See how
reaches
he
of the
compares.
cosmos laid a world with a people like no other, born and raised to do just one thing.
Fight.
The Saiyans, a proud warrior people from the planet Vegeta, ruled by
King Vegeta.
King Vegeta. Well, narcissist punch.
Exactly. Their pride blinded them to the truth of their impending doom. But perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them, even during their waning glory days.
Bardock. He's cool.
Bardock.
He's crude. He's got a bad attitude.
Yeah, I
and
played
if
through
he
the
goes
Bardock
and shit,
DLC
you're
of Dragon Ball
totally
Z Kakarot, so I'm more familiar
and
with
guess
him.
what? He's father of Goku.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
I
I never
couldn't
would have
tell.
guessed.
Right?
Yeah, I think the
What a
character
curveball.
Toriyama
So
might
what
have
does
been a
that
bit
make
lazy.
Turles?
He's not canon, don't mention it.
Bardock was a cold-blooded killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overseer, Lord Frieza.
They didn't just conquer planets, they wiped
Like
out
Skine,
every living
Kakarot,
thing,
his
leaving
teammates.
Frieza
Hates Frieza,
uninhabited
the
rocks
Doria,
to
and
sell
time
away.
travel.
Bardock was an asshole. Well, until he wasn't.
Bardock's
he's
story
kind of an
has
asshole
evolved
still.
over the years, with multiple iterations to draw from.
Including one where he's a brilliant scientist.
Yeah. Gotta love
But only
dubisms.
one is considered officially canon.
Yeah, Dragon Ball
Bardock's
minus.
demeanor began to shift when he met and eventually married fellow warrior
Which people
Kanan,
are
and
not
had
too
2
fond
sons,
of from what I've heard.
Raditz and Kakarot.
No, Bardock didn't go totally soft. He was still a ruthless warrior. You know that iconic red headband of his?
we go.
It's stained with the blood of his fallen friends.
Yeah,
Hardcore.
that's fun. Yeah,
Bardock
that's
could
awesome.
fly, move faster than light, and was
Yeah, but
naturally
not as
adept
fast
in
as
using his
Omni-Man,
ki as an
but yeah.
explosive weapon.
AKA shooting lasers from his
Full power
hands.
energy
True
wave.
to his brutal screw you
he's
nature,
got all his
Bardock's
keys,
moves are all about
transformation.
overwhelming power.
Oh, yep,
his
they're
final
getting Super
spirit cannon
Saiyan.
is like a key-powered bazooka.
That was like the
his
main
rebellion
debate I've
hammer
seen.
punch ignites enemies on contact, and his rebellion spear basically turns him into a supercharged battering ram. The guy has no chill. He will run you over, break your spine, light you on fire, and then move on to the next guy. All in a day's work for a
So yeah, they
Saiyan.
are
Marriage
including
didn't
Super
change
Saiyan
that.
in this. That
While
was like
Bardock
the main
cared
debate.
for Gine, in fact being one
That
of few
evens things
Saiyans
out
of his
a bit.
time to actually have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, he saw his sons as nothing more than future soldiers.
Bardock was a low-class
I mean, you
warrior,
definitely say
so
that
it was
about
unlikely
Raditz.
his kids would grow up to be anything more than battlefield fodder.
But they would still possess the Saiyans' power, a transformation that was the key
Big
to their
monkey.
planetary devastation.
Big monkey!
Under the light of a full moon, a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Uzaru.
This great ape form increases Bardock's power tenfold, turning him into an unstoppable
10.
kaiju. Quick, someone call Yajirobe!
While some Saiyans can
new
maintain
stuff.
control
That was
over
new
this
for
berserker
Bardock.
form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive the same level of training as those of higher birth. Prince Vegeta's control is so precise he can speak while changed, but Bardock cannot.
Hell, it's questionable if he even remembers everything that happens when he goes full tilt gorilla. The
I mean, he
Saiyan
says
strategy
he
is
does.
pretty much just monkey see, monkey smash.
Yeah.
Despite
Fight.
being low-class, Bardock's power level nearly matched that of King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at once. levels.
Yeah.
At about this time, King Vegeta's power level was around 10,000.
Yeah, we know power
10,000.
levels are kind of janky. Nobody can
Yeah,
agree on what the
they're
number
kinda
really
done.
means.
Outside of his fight with Gas, Bardock doesn't really show any high-end feats in canon, but we can use power levels to compare him to other characters with similar levels to better understand his potential.
Like when his son fought Prince Vegeta. What's the scouter say about his power level?
8,000.
It's over 8,000.
Yeah,
the
that-
dub changed it to fit Vegeta's lip flaps, but we only cover the cold hard truth, damn it.
According to this movie pamphlet, Goku's power level between his fight with Vegeta and his trip to Namek was 10,000. This
Okay.
lines up with that previous reading and puts him on par with Bardock. Goku's training during the trip eventually raised him to 90,000 upon arrival, but this gives us a clear window.
Yeah, early in the trip, he had to dodge a bunch of incoming
Isn't that
asteroids and
filler?
blast his ship away from a star, which
the
is
sun.
impressive considering the speed involved.
The planet Namek is outside Earth's quadrant of the universe, and it took his ship 6 days to make the journey. Traveling a quarter of the universe's diameter would put the ship over 9.5 trillion times the speed
Yeah, but that's
of
the
light.
ship,
And
not
Goku
Goku
would have had to
himself.
keep up with that kind of speed to do all that other stuff.
Makes sense, given far weaker characters could
Defeated
reach the
Team
moon in
Midoriya,
a
Chilled,
fraction of a
and
second.
Gas.
Should be trivial enough for Bardock.
All this speed and power meant when
NASA, the
Bardock
planet
and his
cereal.
team assaulted the planet Cereal, they went, cheerio!
Bardock ravaged the planet, annihilating its people, until he found 2 survivors, a mother and her child. Some may call it weakness, others a moment of clarity, but Bardock was suddenly reminded of his wife and recently born son. He chose to spare the 2, and even pushed himself far past his limits to protect them from his own Frieza Force allies, who taunted that Frieza had dire plans for the Saiyans' future.
This moment changed Bardock, making him more appreciative of his family and cautious of Frieza. When all the Saiyans were called back to Planet Vegeta for mysterious
Yeah,
reasons, he had a
some
hunch
reason.
something was up. So before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers before coming face to face
Technically,
with the
that's a
tyrant,
different
he sent
continuity.
his youngest kid away for protection. A choice that allowed his son to thrive. And hey,
become Goku.
that's what good parents do.
A choice that would have a greater significance than Bardock could ever imagine.
And then Dildo Dickhead blew them all up and he died.
Or did he?
Or did he? Bardock got killed so freaking hard he got blasted back in time.
Actually, he was pulled away by these 2 who miscalculated and misplaced him incorrectly in the time stream.
Blah, 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 non-canon, whatever. He survived. And when
Yeah,
he realized what
sure.
happened, he got so unbelievably pissed off, he went Super Saiyan. What?
Alright, this is very much an alternate universe what-if scenario, and it is jarring. But think about it.
Well,
The Super Saiyan form is not achieved through training alone. It requires dedication, introspection, victory, failure, love, and loss. Frieza destroyed the Saiyans because he feared the possibility of the Super Saiyan, a Saiyan with power that could rival his own.
It's
But
so
perhaps
weird
Bardock's
seeing
transformation
Dragon
was
Ball
more
Z
than
stuff
simply
in
a
60
what
by
if.
9
He had
after
begun to
watching
take the
4 by
very steps
3.
his son later would to achieve the form. Perhaps if Frieza had hesitated, even for a moment, his fear would have manifested before him right then and there.
Damn, pour one out for Bardock, who figured out how to be the truest Saiyan right at the end of it all. I know Kakarot would be proud.
No, I don't think he would.
Hey, shout out to everyone who believed in us during our recent crowdfunding.
And joining you in that support is the first ever sponsor for an independent death metal episode,
Yep.
Manscaped.
Ha,
Manscaped's newest
Manscaped.
masterpiece is the Lawnmower 5.0
Yeah, I've seen
Ultra
plenty of
in
Manscaped
forged
sponsor
gold.
ads.
Talk about a for helping our fans and members support the channel. Seriously, show them some love by clicking the link below.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle! So, gonna give my prediction. So, they basically said that, like, when it comes to Omni-Man, he doesn't have any transformations to boost his power, but he can keep up according to his smart atoms. And he's also way faster and has way more experience. Whereas with Bardock, he seems to have more power. Like, base form, he could destroy 3 planets roughly, based on power scaling, and times that by 50 with the Super Saiyan multiplier. I don't know. I really don't know who's going to win. Like, I want Bardock to win, but I'll be cool either way. But let's finally watch the epic fight animated by the one and only Devil Artemis. Let's see this, shall we? Oh, Bardock's gonna try to take over Thraxa, I think. Or the bug planet.
Great. Another gross bug planet.
This planet isn't anyone's to conquer.
Yep.
Don't underestimate me!
Oh, yeah. That is not Takata 101 as
Just like
Bardock.
my son, sticking his nose in places he's not ready for.
My sons would kick his ass!
Ooh, okay. I've got a key last. Oh, this is awesome. Oh! You destroyed a ship! Oh! Oh!
Whatever you are, you're an embarrassment.
Oh! It's moon time! Time for monkey!
Wait till you see the real power of a Saiyan.
Oh! Osaru!
Am I supposed to be impressed?
Oh! Oh, you got him. Oh! Oh, he got his tail! Oh, and he cut off the tail.
Shit.
Oh! To the other place. Or the star. The Saiyans can't breathe in space.
My sons need me.
Oh,
I won't let you take me from my world.
oh, Super Saiyan. Oh! Oh, he's... Oh, oh!
Your time is up! Saiyan!
Oh, punch! No, Bardock! Oh!
You said Saiyan. Remember it.
Looks like everyone was wrong. Or the first guess was right.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah, the uncensored. Nice.
KO! Okay, these Gokus have got to stop picking fights with guys in capes.
Pitting Saiyan against Viltrumite is fascinating. Among the many similarities, 5 specific categories stand out.
Starting with speed.
Omni-Man.
Bardock is much faster, given his power level matched Goku dodging asteroids at 9.5
Oh,
trillion
he's
times
faster.
light speed, much higher than the Viltrumite's fastest speed. Add on the 50 times multiplier from Super Saiyan, and it's a huge difference.
Right, Bardock clearly has the speed advantage, but strength and durability are another
Strength.
story.
Though it doesn't seem like it at first, Bardock scales to King Veggie, who wrecked 3 planets at once, and Omni-Man only smashed 1.
Yeah, but that was a
given
big
how
planet.
big that one planet was, the numbers are actually pretty similar, until we factor in the Super Saiyan boost, right?
Well, there's a catch. A major plot point in Invincible involves the coalition of planets admitting that their weapons cannot hurt Viltrumites.
So, when their ship's cannon obliterated this gigantic solar disk, it highlighted just how tough the Viltrumites really are.
This disk completely blocked the sunlight and heat between a planet and its star. And this is no ordinary planet. Its size and density are so high that its inhabitants are as strong as Viltrumites just due to living in its natural gravity. To fully block the light to such a planet and remain in consistent orbit, the disk would need to be positioned at its L1 point, the spot that creates an uninterrupted view between sun and satellite, and the disk itself must be about half the diameter of the star in question. This means the scaling of the disk puts it at 3 septillion tons.
That's 24 zeros!
Which makes Omni-Man over 11,000 times stronger than base Bardock.
Not even the Great Ape or Super Saiyan forms could make up that difference. So strength goes to Nolan.
Still, numbers aren't everything. As far as versatility in combat goes, neither had one distinct advantage that could win outright.
Omni-Man survives in space for much longer, but Bardock barely squeaks out the edge here thanks to his ranged versatility with key attacks and, of course, Super Saiyan.
Okay, let's address the Super Saiyan Bardock thing. It's perfectly fair to question whether or not the form should be in this comparison at all. However, even with the form included, Nolan still takes this, especially when it comes to our last two categories, experience and stamina.
Nolan has way more
Omni-Man's
experience.
been around a lot longer than Bardock. Over 2,000 years. And even with Super Saiyan, Bardock's no master of the form.
And without that mastery, the form drains the user's energies at an increased rate. Which brings us to what may be Omni-Man's most surprising advantage.
Those weird smart atoms.
Yeah, the
Saiyans like
atoms.
Bardock can fight for days on end, but only for so long. Bardock possesses a limited pool of ki, which only depletes faster when using super forms like the Great Ape. In contrast, Omni-Man's biology prevents him from tiring in most cases, letting him travel across whole galaxies for weeks non-stop. And his smart atoms adjust to counter whatever physical strain he's subjected to.
Bardock's crazy speed and power made him a real challenge.
But Nolan's strength, experience, and sheer endurance presented an unstoppable and unshakable force that would inevitably land the killing blow.
When push came to shove, Omni-Man raised the bar. Duck.
The winner is
That
Omni-Man.
pun's not.
Next time on Death
Who's
Metal.
next? Oh, it's Joker versus Giovanni Giorno. Nice.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
So, yeah. Honestly, I'm fine with the result. Like, Bardock's not really one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters, but yeah, Omni-Man is just like, whoa, has a lot of power. So, yeah, I'd say I agree with this mostly. But the next fight is Joker from Persona 5 versus Giovanni from JoJo. If you know anything about me, you know that I like Persona. So yeah, that one is a fight that I really hope that I'm actually looking forward to. As well as Bowser versus Eggman coming up later this year, as that was my actual most wanted fight for them to do ever. But, with that being said, this episode was really good, and I have very much missed this. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Please check out another video of mine, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!